I was just watching Loews Chairman Tisch on CNBC arguing that the government should make it easier for foreign tourists to get into the United States so we can have more tourists and more guests for his hotels. That's all good, as I have nothing against tourists coming to America. Moreover, it's understandable that Tisch views foreign tourists as a source of revenue for his business, since most Americans have experienced stagnant or falling incomes over the past 4 years and probably can't do much vacationing. And come to think of it, real earnings for wage earners in America haven't gone up in something like 40 years, so their consumption of leisure, especially at the high end, is pretty low. On the other hand, Mr. Tisch and his fellow CEOs have seen their earnings increase something like 250% in that time. But I digress. Listening to Mr. Tisch plead for greater visa leniency made me wonder why he wasn't showing the same degree of fervor and support for working Americans so that they too could have the means to travel and stay at his properties. After all, we're a nation of 310 million people, and if regular folks, not just CEOs and rich foreigners, had the wherewithal to travel, his hotels would be booked solid all year round. In fact, there'd probably be a wait list to get a room. Perhaps the answer lies in the fact that the hotel and hospitality industry, which is where Mr. Tisch's businesses operate, are notoriously low payers. The average hotel employee earns far below the nation's median income. If Mr. Tisch and other CEOs in low-paying industries simply paid their employees more, then people would have more money to spend on travel and leisure, and his hotels would be booked solid. But that doesn't interest Mr. Tisch because he's found a really profitable business model that's a lot easier to arrange, and it doesn't entail providing economic well-being to lowly Americans. All he has to do is lobby his friends in Washington for visa rule changes, which, by the way, Mr. Tisch said he was able to finagle, so foreigners with money could come here instead. And the real beauty of it is, when they're done with their vacations, they just go home, and Mr. Tisch doesn't have to deal with them anymore. And actually, I'm sure Mr. Tisch wishes he could send the rest of us lowly Americans packing too, so that he and his billionaire friends could enjoy America all to themselves. But don't worry, he's working on that too. It's time that the rest of us wake up and smell the complimentary coffee. The plan that Mr. Tisch and his friends have for America is to keep Americans in low-paying jobs and bend the rules so that foreigners can come here and spend. That way, their profits and wealth continue to climb higher and higher, while the rest of us go nowhere, or worse, down. And if you're wondering about jobs, well, their attitude is, just take our crappy jobs and shut up. In a nation that has monetary sovereignty, like we do, we're the boss, not them. We have the means to raise incomes and make the investments that benefit all people, not just a few. The problem, however, is getting people to understand that. Well, that's it for now. See you next time. This is Mike Norman saying bye-bye.